So the term doctor. Uh, Now, a while back, the reason we call professors doctors um, is is because they used to be, intellectually sound and would actually heal you intellectually. But nowadays, it's kind of been hijacked a little bit, but hopefully, we'll move in the right direction. But so the word doctors, a doctor heals or fixes something on your body. And so if you go to the doctors, they'll diagnose you, they'll try to cure you. That's what a doctor does. They just try to cure people. Would that be nowadays? It's not very effective with medicine and all that. Not very good. But there are some true geniuses, and that's why we label them doctors. For example, in the church, we have doctors of the church because they cured or fixed something in the church, and they had a major impact. How you doing? But anyway, that's later. So a doctor can diagnose and fix a problem. And especially in academia, like philosophers and whatever, they were able to heal or cure something. Now, I don't agree with everything with what Zerka says, but some of the things that Zerka says is quite interesting. Some of the things that Rudolf Steiner said, quite interesting. Some things that Carl Jung said are very interesting in their commentaries about Christianity. And even some radical people like Albert Pike. You read a little bit of, not read, but you listen to a little bit of Morals and Dogma, you're like, what the heck? It's a lot of Christianity. But yeah, these people, and Jordan Peterson's, like, you listen to a lecture of Jordan Peterson, for example, kind of help. It's interesting. It helps. That's why he's a professor. That's why we call him doctor, because they heal or cure the mind and that interest that we have. And even Nietzsche was just a advent against Christianity. And it's like, if you look at his life is like why you need Christianity. Because, I mean, the physical degradation that he went through, sick, going insane, all that's a life without God, essentially. But the main point that I want to make is that a doctor is supposed to cure. And so, just one example. I'm online. I'm sure you've been in this same exact scenario, online playing video games. And this guy is obviously very angry. And very, like, it'd be the equivalent of you're walking down the street and you lightly touch someone. And then they flip out, go through a whole rage. That's kind of the situation. And one of the things I suggest to him is to take up boxing, because you have all that anger and aggressiveness. First of all, you need to spar a couple times. Get your ass kicked, get punched in the face, realize, oh, this sucks. And then you can go do another sport, whatever, like weightlifting, whatever. You don't need to keep on doing boxing. Because that's been my experience into boxing. I did boxing for 1 month. You spar a couple times. I didn't like getting hit in the head. It hurts. It really does hurt. And you're like, you think about, CTE, all that. If you watch that documentary, you think about it, you're like, I knew that. I think I sparred 2 times or 3 times. But it was just an amazing experience. You really need to if you haven't been in a fight before, if you haven't, it's really, really a great experience. And I enjoyed it and I learned a lot. You're like, oh, you used to feel, because there's a lot of anxiety when you're younger. I just feeling uneasy with yourself, with the world, not knowing how to interact with it, getting scared people or certain situations. But you do boxing, all that thinking, all that all that anxiety that you're dealing with, as soon as you get, it's like a millisecond. As soon as a millisecond get punched in the face, you realize, oh, none of that quote unquote anxiety hurts, does anything. Doesn't even, you realize, oh, that's not even a big deal. But getting punched in the face, yeah, that sucks. And it really does suck. And it teaches you, like, oh, there are greater problems in the world, and you don't need to be self-obsessing or in your thoughts or struggling with your fear or whatever, different social entanglements. But yeah, that's from my experience been very helpful. And when I did boxing, it was like really a great transformation. Really one of the best experiences that I did. And it came just of like, why boxing? Like one day I just came across boxing, but it came because, and again, we look at people, we don't agree with everything they do, but there are certain things that someone's saying that you could try, learn from that person, but you don't have to agree with everything that this person says. And I find it so amazing how the idea of like a horseshoe, where the left and the right, just as simple, they are closer than they think. You know, so you got Andrew Tate, who's this guy, has all this women, all this money, strong, saying, you know, unless you're having children, you shouldn't have sex. And then you have the Catholic Church saying the same exact thing, you know. And I want to quote Andrew Tate, you know, it's gay if you have sex and you're not having children. Like if you're using whatever, condoms or whatever, Plan B, whatever that, it's gay if you're having sex and you're not having children, which I find. And then you look at what the Catholic Church says, what Jesus essentially said, like no sex before marriage. And then we are married, like have sex and no contraceptives, no condoms, no whatever, but in marriage, and then have children, be open to having children. And I find that quite amazing. But the reason why I did boxing is because this was in, I think it was like COVID, like, I don't know, a little bit of time after COVID. Anyway, but I was online looking at Andrew Tate, looking at the reviews of the War Room, and people there was like 100 reviews, and basically 80, 90 of them were talking about how doing boxing or sparring has been a really great experience. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like, again, I don't need to be in the War Room in order to understand that, oh, there's 90 people here and they're all saying that boxing has been really good. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go do boxing. So I looked up the closest boxing gym near me. I showed up, I bought, gloves. Eventually I bought, shoes, gloves, headgear. I got wrong gloves. I got like really cheap gloves. I had to get like the big gloves with the more space in between so I don't freaking knock someone out. But anyway, I got like cheap Walmart gloves for the first ones. And did that. Did it for a month. Sparred a couple people. First two people, I was whooping them. I'll tell you that. It was pretty even, but I knew I was winning. And then the third guy, I got my ass kicked. But this guy, he sparred the whole class. And then no one was raising their hand again to go again. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So he sparred we all went once against this one guy and basically got our ass kicked. And so he's in the ring and he's sparring these people. I think it's 2 minutes. I don't know how long, but I think it was 2 minutes. And we just go at it. And then I think there's like 10 people there or whatever, 12 people. And so he spars, 10 people. He sparred me. I'll admit, like, on the cards, I didn't get knocked out, but on the cards, like, he won. Like, if they're doing judges, whatever. Maybe I'll get 50-50. Maybe I'll get a no contest. Maybe, if I pay the judge or whatever. But anyway, I'll just say the first time I fought him was a no contest, whatever. And then the second time, no one raised their hand again to go spar him again. And the coach is like, guys. And I'm like, guys, we can't look like a bitch out here. So I raise my hand again. I go in there and then get fucking smacked around. I think I put on my headgear wrong. But like when he punched me, like my headgear turned or whatever. And it was just a disaster. Like I was like grabbing him, holding on to him. And then the coach, because I was just trying to waste time. Like get 10 seconds here so I can catch my breath. And then get off, they separate us. And then just trying to go back and just trying to like, but anyway, very great experience. Enjoyed that. But that goes back to, anyway, someone will insult you. Someone will be angry with you. Someone will be short-tempered with you. Tell them to do boxing. Tell them to freaking work out. Because that anger, that rage that they got, you're not going to get that rage out. You are very little by being aggressive with other people, but no one wants to be around, someone that's aggressive, insulting, or whatever. And so, just like this, suggest to do boxing, suggest to do a sport. But you need to have, especially if you're a guy, you need to have at least one, whether it be a boxing sparring session or a street fight. Don't care. Don't let it be a street fight because, again, that's not right. Unless, of course, it's self-defense or whatever. But if you get a sparring session, it's going to be very beneficial. It's very important if you're a man, because then you realize the violence and you realize, oh, maybe you're not. Maybe you can't, kick someone's ass. Maybe you'll, just hang in there, But anyway, it's been a great experience. I'm trying to explain this as best I can. Hopefully get through to you. But there's a reason people are called doctors. Some people just get that title for whatever. But there's a reason. And it's sort of, academia has sort of failed in a lot of respects in the recent times. I think we can look back to Galileo. He really derailed everyone. Even the Pope was like, Galileo, you're messing up here, and that's why they put him on house arrest. And they were absolutely 100% right in doing that because Galileo is wrong. The heliocentric model is incorrect. Space is not real. It's kind of a shame that we have this lie that people somehow still believe, and it's like a joke. If you say space is not real, it's not. Space is not real. I'll just try to explain this to you as simple as I can. The CEO of the largest private aviation space company, Elon Musk, he went on an interview. And in this interview, he told the interviewer that he went to Mars. And this was recent, it was like a year ago or whatever. That he went to Mars and that Elon played golf on Mars. Now, mind you, he wasn't joking. Because when someone's joking, people laugh. But he was dead serious. And so Elon Musk went to Mars and he played golf on Mars. And if you still, after that, if you still believe that you can go to space, you can go to these planets, you're fucking stupid. It's a big fucking joke. All of it's a big fucking joke, you know? It's just a way to get a bunch of money. NASA is just it's a video company. It's the same as Hollywood. They just make movies, make, you know, these images, Photoshop these images. Oh, look, we found a new star. Oh, look, a new constellation. It's all fucking bullshit, you know? It's all bullshit. But anyway, the Bible is true, you know? There's water up there. The sky, and then there's water up there. And the firmament, you can't go past the firmament. It's impenetrable. But the sky is very, very tall. But anyway, I'm not saying that it's impenetrable, but it has to hold back water. So how is it holding back water if it's not impenetrable? That would be my question. Now, I'm not saying I know everything, but it has this material that the sky is. It has to hold back water. And in my experience, it has to be a firm material, like metal, whatever, that has to hold back water. And so that's what I think it is. But anyway, we'll get more down the road. Eventually, science will catch up to the Bible, because the Bible is 100% correct. Jesus is Lord. It's one true Catholic Church. And God bless you all. Jesus is Lord. Today's Sunday, the Lord's Day. Amazing. Get to fucking Mass if you haven't already. But God bless you all. Jesus is Lord.